What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the GOAT Talk channel. And today we'll be talking about Chris Paul's Houston Rockets run. Now, in my eyes, Chris Paul is one of the best point guards of all time, and he's very underrated in a lot of areas. Now, before you really get started, go ahead and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. My name is Jamar, and let's talk about Chris Paul's Houston Rockets run. Now, in the summer of 2017, Chris Paul was traded to the Houston Rockets for Patrick Beverley, Sam Dekker, Lou Williams, and a 2018 first round pick. Now, when this trade first happened, everyone was thinking Chris Paul, Harden together ain't gonna work. Two ball dominant guards playing together ain't gonna work. And it actually ended up working out. Now, that roster contained of CP3 himself, James Harden, PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, Clint Capella, Ryan Anderson, Trevor Ariza, Gerald Green, and many more players. Now, the Houston Rockets that season, it was a pretty great season. They finished first in the West with a 65-17 season record. During that series, Chris Paul averaged 18.6 points a game, 7.9 assists a game, 4.8 rebounds a game. He shot 46% from field goal, 38% from the three. Now, during that series, Chris Paul did miss 24 games, but in all, Chris Paul had a very decent season. Him and James Harden coexist with their role players and their shooters. Now, let's get to the playoffs. In the first round, they defeated the Timberwolves in 5 games. During that series, Chris Paul averaged 19 points a game, 6.6 assists a game, 3 rebounds a game. In the second round, the Houston Rockets went up against the Jazz and beat them in 5 games. During that series, Chris Paul averaged 24.6 points a game, 6.2 assists a game, 7.8 rebounds a game, and 2.2 steals a game. The Houston Rockets were on the roll and they looked very unstoppable. Now we get to the Western Conference Finals. They went up against the Golden State Warriors, the unstoppable Golden State Warriors. Now, during that series, Chris Paul averaged 19.8 points a game, 4.6 assists a game, 6.8 rebounds a game. Chris Paul was playing very well until Game 5. Chris Paul went out with an injury, and Chris Paul caused the Houston Rockets to lose Game 6 and also lose Game 7 with the Houston Rockets missing 27 straight threes. Now, if we're being honest and fair, the refs were kind of, they weren't being fair. It was a lot of fouls, but there's still no excuse for the Houston Rockets missing 27 straight threes. Now, some can say even though Chris Paul was healthy, the Warriors still would have beat him. But in my eyes, if Chris Paul was healthy, the Rockets would beat the Warriors. The Rockets were on a roll, but Chris Paul's hamstring injury, like everyone says, they were hamstring away. Now, we get to the 2018-2019 season. Now, in my eyes, that season was decent. It was very good, but wasn't as good as the last season. Now, during the season, Houston Rockets, they didn't have Trevor Ariza or Ryan Anderson, but they had players like Kenneth Faried, Iman Shumpert, Austin Rivers, and Daniel House. During this season, Chris Paul averaged 15.6 points a game, 4.6 rebounds a game, 8.2 assists a game. And Chris Paul also missed 24 games this season with an injury. Now, as we got close to playoff time, Chris Paul and James Harden started to have a lot of tension. They started to have arguments and disagreements. Well, that's what I heard, but, I believe it. Now, we get to the playoffs. In the first round, the Houston Rockets beat the Jazz in 5 games as usual. During that series, Chris Paul had 17 points a game, 5.2 assists a game, 5.4 rebounds a game. Now, we get to the second round and it's time for redemption. The Houston Rockets went up against the Golden State Warriors in the second round. Now, the first 2 games, the Golden State Warriors beat the Houston Rockets. Then the Houston Rockets beat the Warriors in Game 3 and 4. We get to Game 5, during the third quarter, Kevin Durant goes down with a leg injury. Now, all Houston fans thinking this is our time. No, it still wasn't enough. The Warriors ended up beating us. Now, we get to Game 6. The Houston Rockets were up the majority of the game. until the second half, where Steph Curry dropped 35 points without scoring a single point in the first half. So after that, the Houston Rockets lost in Game 6 to the Golden State Warriors without Kevin Durant. Now, as a Rocket fan, I was very devastated, and I was thinking, what's next for the Houston Rockets? What's next? What do we do next? And during that summer, the Houston Rockets traded away Chris Paul for Russell Westbrook. Now, when Chris Paul went to Oklahoma City Thunder, everyone was kind of thinking that it wouldn't work out. But like I said in my last video, it worked out tremendously. Well, not tremendously, it worked out very good because Chris Paul right now, as we speak, he's doing pretty good with the Thunder. They're the 5th seed in the West, and they're the 5th seed above the 6th seed, which is the Houston Rockets right now. But do I think Chris Paul's Houston Rockets run was good? I think it was decent. I don't think that run was terrible or disappointment. That run was pretty good. They made to the Western Conference Finals his first year there. They probably would have won the series if he could go out with a hamstring injury. But I think that series was pretty good. Well, the second season he was there, they could have done better, but overall, Chris Paul's run with the Houston Rockets was a good run. I mean, it was better than his Clippers run, right? And like I said, Chris Paul had a good run with the Houston Rockets, and I appreciate everything that he brought to the table for us. And I hope he does good with Oklahoma City Thunder because Chris Paul, in my eyes, is one of the best point guards of all time, and I wish and I hope he wins the ring. Now, that's the end of the video, guys. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and let me know what y'all want to see next. Go Talk out.